All right. Here's what I want to talk about first before I get into the content. Next week, I'm on the road. I will be in Detroit on Monday. I will be in Dallas on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I will be in Salt Lake City. So if you've got anybody within a few hours of those destinations, get them to me. I will encourage them. I will light them up. I will get them excited. We will teach them how to sell. We'll teach them how to close. We'll teach them how to close at a higher rate. I'm telling you, at each of those stops, I'm not only going to be there, there's going to be top salespeople there as well. So, all the information on theallianceevents.com, go to the hotspots tab. All the addresses are there. And then I'm just telling you, get folks there. Got a message here. All right. So boot camp tickets, just getting the message here. Sorry, Jim. Boot camp tickets for this December 9th boot camp are going to go live this Friday. This boot camp, we are going to get everybody there is going to come out selling more. Every brand new person that gets there on December 9th is going to take 6 to 10 months off the learning curve. I'm just telling you, that is the kind of training, that's the kind of instruction, that's the kind of detailed training that is going to happen there December 9th. We're going to have other big players from the Alliance coming in. We're going to have carrier reps. Gina Hawks is going to be there. If you have not made friends with Gina Hawks, you need to make friends with Gina Hawks, because you are going to need her friendship. I'm telling you, what she knows about carriers, what she knows about products, how she can help. I'm telling you, it's December 9. Put it on your calendar, start making your travel plans, get yourself to Asheville, North Carolina. This boot camp is going to be epic. All right, let's get into our material. So we think about connections. When it comes to connection, the higher the connection, the tighter the connection, the faster things happen. You think about this. Holly and I have been married now for over 20 years. We don't have to spend a lot of time in order to get on the same page and get something moving. Does that make sense? Why? Because we've got over 20 years of connection. Same deal with me and the other top people in the Alliance when it comes to, like, when we're at a meeting, Adam Katz and I, or Mike Leventovich and I, we don't have to have a big discussion. Okay, what are you going to, we already know, because we have a high level of connection, so we can move fast. And so when it comes to your team, when it comes to the people on your team, how tight is that connection? When you're in the house, how tight is that connection? One of the things I always like to look at as to whether or not I built a connection in the home is when I leave, what does the client do? Do they hug me and walk me to the car? Or do they say, hey, thanks for coming out? And then they stay seated and I leave. One shows a high level of connection. The other shows a very low level of connection. When folks give you a hug and walk you out to the car, that is a high level of connection. That policy is going to stay on the books. I promise you, that policy is going to stay on the books. On the other, there's not really a lot of connection there. And here's the problem. You and I, we do things the right way. We do things the right way. We put people in a position that they're better off than when we found them. Not all life insurance agents do that. I mean, I've seen some stuff that just makes me go, this life insurance agent clearly has no conscience, clearly doesn't think somebody's watching and holding them accountable eventually for their actions because of what they did. See, here's the thing. I want a high level of connection with all my clients so that they're not susceptible to people like that. Does that make sense? Like, if they've got a high level of connection with me, no joker agent is going to get in there and do something wrong. No joker agent is going to get in there and lie on the application about their smoker status or their weight to try and get them a rate that is only going to get rescinded later. I'm just telling you, I want high level of connection so that my clients are protected. And you see where that comes from? It's not coming from, I want to keep the policy on the books. Will it keep a policy on the books? Oh, heck yeah, it'll keep a policy on the books. But a high level of connection protects them. They're not going to talk to some of these agents out here that'll just do whatever, do terrible things to get a sale on the book. They're not going to do that. Why? Because they're connected to me. Same principle with my team, same principle with my family, same principle when we want to move fast, when we want to be able to have stability, and we have to have a high level of connection. It's why I'm traveling. Think about this. Over Zoom, can we connect? Yeah, kind of. When I'm in person with the Detroit crew on next Monday, you think we'll build a deeper connection? Oh yeah, because you can't beat in person, right? It's the same reason. That's why I travel. That's why I'm going to Dallas. So I'm going to Salt Lake City. So I'm figuring out my plans for November and December, how I'm going to end this year strong, which, by the way, tell me where you got strong in people. We just came out of breakthrough. The 12 points we're looking for. Where do you have people that are 9 or 10 out of 12? I will get there and help get them connected to you and to me and get them moving. So what are the 7 points? The first ties into the thing I always teach, the 3 C's of connection. That's kind of like, that's the brief seminar on connection. By the way, a great book to read if you're looking for resources on how to connect with people better. John Maxwell's Everybody Communicates, Few Connect. John C. Maxwell, Everybody Communicates, Few Connect. I think you should read that book if you're in a committed relationship. I think you should read that book if you are raising children. I think you should read that book if you want to kill it at sales and recruiting and building. Why? Because connection rules the day. Families that are connected win. Teams that are connected win. Salespeople that know how to connect, kill it. Kill it. I promise you, you look at the top salespeople on the team. You look at Jeremico, you look at Adam Burge, you look at Hutch, you look at Nick Greco, you look at Aaron Wilson. Those people build connection fast. Now, these 7 things, again, anytime we talk about stuff like this, what I'm doing, I'm going to invite you to do. What I'm doing is I'm looking at me and I'm going, how good am I doing at each of these 7 things? Where am I at? If I was to give this out to Holly, to my children, to the last 20 people I've sold, to the agency leaders, where would they grade me as far as my ability to connect? That's how I look at it. And I'm inviting you to do the same, because I promise you, people that get people started quick know how to connect. Mike Guerra, the reason he has just flat out passed people like their feet were nailed to the floor. It's not because he's lucky. It's not because like he was blessed by a rock troll and has abilities that you and I don't have. He is a connector. I mean, he lives on a plane, going to see people to connect. Houston is blowing up because he's flying to Houston constantly to build those connections. So, number 1 of the 7 things, establish common ground. This is building on what I talk about in the 3 C's when I talk about commonality. What is that common ground? I'm trying to find something that says you and me are the same. Now, in the sales trainings that I do at the big events, I'll teach that you don't have to have crazy common ground, and that is true. But I would build on that and tell you that the more things you can check the box on, the more things that you have in common with the people that you're trying to move, the stronger the connection, the easier it is to move them. So if I'm trying to get a connection with a client, am I looking for simple things like, oh, you have a similar birthday to my sister, or, oh, you're from there, my mom's from there, or, oh, yeah, I'm going to take those easy ones, but then I'm going to look for other things. Here's a magic turn of phrase. You want to write this down? Write this down. Magic turn of phrase. People like you and me. People like you and me. You will hear me use that constantly. In fact, I was working on some IULs this morning with a client, and I'm saying that, and I'm going, this is exactly what I'm going to talk about on the Monday message. He's talking about we did doing IULs for him and his wife, and then he wants to do something for their child. And so here's the magic turn of phrase. People like you and me, we want to build legacies for our kids. I respect the heck out of that. People like you and me. Why? Because I've established enough common ground that I can say people like you and me and you and I, we are the same. The more common ground you can establish, the easier it is to get people to move. Now, instead of thinking about $30 a month, they're going to put $100 a month into his son's IUL. Why? Because people like you and me, that's what we do. We build legacies for our children. We leave them and we give them a higher jumping off space in life than we were given. That's what people like you and me do. Magic turn of phrase. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a hobby. It could be that both of y'all like green grass. Hey, grass is beautiful. Can you tell me, I mean, what are y'all doing with this? What are y'all doing with this grass? Because I love having a pretty yard, and I'm trying to. I don't quite. Which, by the way, that's another sales thing. Ask people for advice. That's great. But establish that common ground. However many boxes you can check, the easier it's going to be to get them to move. And like I said, it will also protect them, from other agents that are not as good as you and me getting in there and doing something wrong. It will also get you referrals. If you're not getting referrals and a natural flow of referrals, it's lack of connection. There's just not that connection there. People give referrals abundantly and easily to people that they feel connected to, people that have that level of connection. So number one, establish common ground. Think of it like this. How many boxes can I check of things we have in common? Now, this is where opinionated people struggle, right? Some people say, well, it's just me. I wear feelings on my sleeve. It's going to be hard for you to connect with people like that. Does that make sense? Wear your feelings on your sleeve. That's who I am. I don't like this. I don't like that. Folks like that have a hard time connecting. Why? Because they're going in, letting the other person know that there's already stuff we don't have in common. I'm going to go in like a blank canvas. I'm going to go in like a blank canvas so I can check as many boxes as possible. All right, number two, this is big, and the same applies if you're selling over the phone or if you're selling in the home. Use open body language. If you see me selling on the phone, I have open, expressive body language. If you see me selling on the phone, you won't see me doing this. Why? This is closed body language. And you say, but that doesn't matter because they can't see you. They can hear your posture. They can hear your posture. And think about this. Have you ever talked on the phone with someone and you're like, God, I am just getting nowhere with them. I promise you on the other end of the phone, they've got closed body language. Open body language. All the more important when selling in person, open body language. All the more important when running a hotspot. When you're doing a meeting, a hotspot meeting and a training, think like this, think like this, think like this. Closed body language, tight shoulders, that makes people not connect with you. Think about the great speakers that you know. I talk about John Maxwell. If you've never seen John Maxwell speak, he'll give a 2-hour talk and he'll be done with his 2-hour talk and he'll be like, oh, that was 2 hours? How did those 2 hours go by like 20 minutes? You watch him speak and he is the most open, expansive, open body language speaker that you will see. You will always see him with palms up, palms open. You won't see any closed body language. So whether you're selling in the home or you're running a recruiting meeting or you're trying to recruit over the phone, same thing. Open body language breeds connection. Closed body language shuts down connection. People in person feel it. People over the phone feel it. People on a Zoom call can feel it. If I've got closed body language on this call, we're not connecting. I've got to have open body language. So open body language, number two, very important. Number three, active engagement. Active engagement, what does that mean? Showing genuine interest. Now, this is the difference between a great salesperson and simply a salesperson that's great at closing. A great salesperson shows genuine interest. People feel that. The other salespeople, the fakers, they don't have the same level of connection because it's not genuine. By the way, those people struggle to keep policies on the books. Why? Because when a field changes, a client notices it. See, when people are not genuinely interested, they'll pretend to be genuinely interested until they get that check. Then the field changes. Field changes, policies fall off the books. Genuine interest. That's genuinely caring about the person. And you say, some of these people, man, I'm telling you, they're just rude. Though I hear you. I hear you. Will you be able to have that level of connection with everybody you talk to? Obviously not. But we can't let people cause you and I to lose our genuine interest in people, genuinely interested in them, genuinely interested in their lives, genuinely interested in what we can do to help protect that. I mean, when I'm talking about GoFundMe.com to clients, when I'm talking about tax-free retirement, and I'm talking about people not being able to retire, or people having to retire and then just cut back on everything because they can't. I'm genuinely interested. I don't want that family to end up on GoFundMe.com begging for money for a funeral. That's terrible. That is terrible. We cannot have that happen. I genuinely care when I'm talking about that stuff. Same thing with retirement. I met this family. I have got to put them in a better place. I've got to put them on a path towards an actual retirement. I care. I genuinely care. And so that's why people that build strong connections can move so fast. That's why it's so simple. You're like, how's Adam Burge write IULs that big? How does Adina Decker all of a sudden start writing these big IULs? It's they genuinely care about people. When you genuinely care, when you show genuine interest, people feel it. Remember, people don't remember what we say, but what do they always remember? How we made them feel. Genuine interest it's such a rare commodity out there, such a rare commodity that when you show genuine interest, people feel refreshed. They remember that. Again, referrals should be flowing readily and abundantly when we show genuine interest, active engagement. Number 4, mirroring. Subtly mirror the other person's body language, their pace, their gestures, their tone, the cadence at which they talk. If you're selling in the Northeast, people talk what? They talk fast. Mirror that cadence. If you're selling in the South or the deep South, you've got to slow down. You come with that same fast cadence that you use up north, it's not going to work. Mirroring is one of those magical sales things. Now you could say, well, that does not seem manipulative, that you're pretending to speak in that manner. No, it's genuine, right? I will do that because it ties back into the number 3. I will do that because I genuinely want that person to move the right way. I genuinely want that person to move the right way. And so I will mirror and match. I will meet their cadence. And I talked about this in one of our sales tips, which, by the way, if you're not on our Discord community, find out what you got to do to get on our Discord community. I'm going to put another sales tip out today. I popped sales tips out there that go to everyone. There's the community on there. But I talked about this with, I think one of the sales tips I did. Talk about using the magic of movement when you mirror and then you slowly move to what you want the client to do. And then they slowly do it. And it's like magic. It's like magic. But mirroring, why? People like people that are like them. People dislike people that are not like them. And that has nothing to do with, background or anything like that. I'm talking about when you feel comfortable to people because you mirror and match in a genuine way, you're like that old pair of jeans that just fits right. That just fits right. That's what you want to be. That's why mirroring and matching is so important. Here's the other thing it'll do. It'll take you out of your discomfort. All right. Number 5. This is big. Empathy, being empathetic to the people we talk to. This is where I love Mike Leventovich. She talks about the knuckle dragging, just final expense slinging agents out there that they don't care about the client. When he talks about it, just cracks me up. This is the difference between you and I and them. Empathetic. We genuinely have that genuine feeling. Empathy is your pain in my heart. So the client that has 0 final expense coverage, the client that only has a $5,000 policy, they need to get more, they know, because cost of everything has gone up, their budget is tight. When we have genuine empathy for that, when we have that, when they know that we feel their pain in our heart, they're going to move quickly on what we tell them to do, and the policies will stay on the books. The genuine empathy with a recruits, if you're gonna build an organization, what you're gonna do is build a bunch of people. You build a bunch of people, that's what builds an organization. Genuine empathy. What are the cares? What are the concerns? What are they worried about? What are they trying to get accomplished? When we look at folks through that lens, through that genuine empathy, it creates magic bonds. People say, now you and Jeremy could go back so far. How are you guys still this tight over all those years? Because I genuinely want his life to be better. I want you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Whether it's sales, whether it's recruiting, whether it's building, genuine empathy. If you had to pick one of these 7 that builds solid connections, that keeps solid connections solid over the years, genuine empathy. I'm telling you, that is one of those things. And again, it's rare. It's rare in today's world. Why? Who's everybody concerned about? Me, right? We live in a generation that was taking so many pictures of just ourselves that we had to create a term for it. It's not a coincidence that genuine empathy is lacking sorely in society. When you're genuinely empathetic towards people, you are different. You become a powerful person. All right, number 6, sharing personal stories. Now this is a balance thing. If we take over and we just keep sharing personal stories and we don't let them share, we don't build a connection. So what is sharing personal stories? They share something about themselves. We share something about ourselves. We share something about ourselves. They share something about themselves. Now, I will tell you this, you typically have to go first. Why? Because most people have their guard up. But when you share a genuine story, when I'm talking to a client, I'm like, oh, you guys have a 12-year-old? Oh, man, we've got a 12-year-old too. It's crazy to me that it goes that fast. I mean, it's just like yesterday. Just like yesterday, Tinsley was 4 or 5. It just, and now he's just like this person. And they go, I know, me too. Oh my God. Sorry, boy. When you share personal stories, it invites the sharing of personal stories. People share stories with people they're connected to. People share facts with people they're acquainted with, but people share stories with people they're connected to. So share personal stories. Number 7 is going to tie all these together, and that is a positive attitude. Negative people. I was coaching a guy one time. He says, my anger drives me. I'm like, that's dangerous, bro. Like, I'm just telling you, you're not gonna build connections like that. A positive attitude, genuine positivity, believing in people. Think about this. Would you or I do any of the previous 6 to any serious level unless we were genuinely positive, had a genuinely positive view of people, viewed people in a positive light, believe that people could become better, believe that people believe in the important stuff, believe that people want to take care of their families, believe that deep down people want to help and inspire others. If we don't believe that, we won't do the other 6 at any level. And again, we come back to rarefied air. We live in a negative septic world, right? It's funny. Like, I'll show someone Mike Guerra's results and you look at his numbers, like, bro, he's passing people right and left. He is positive. Then you get someone's like, well, my group's not growing. It's like, I think I know why. No positivity. If you don't have a positive attitude, people aren't going to want to follow. People will follow people that they believe can help them get to something better. Positive attitude. Positive attitude about people. If it's just another stupid client and another stupid, oh, I hate this neighborhood. Nobody, all these people are stupid. We're not gonna do the work to build the connections. Positive attitude, massive, massive, massive. Guys, that's the message for today. How deep connections can we build with our clients, with each other, within the important people in our life? Because that is going to determine the speed at which we can move. Come out and see me on the road next week. Detroit Monday, Dallas Tuesday, Salt Lake City Wednesday. I am working on my November, December travel. Tell me where you've got people. Tell me where I can go help you. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you at National Convention with us. We want you at this boot camp with us. We want you to put yourself in position with what we've got left until National Convention to make 2024 an insanely epic, generation-changing type year. Love y'all. Let's get after it. Hammer down.